From gorgonias to rhododendrons, from dolphins to wolves. Within a radius of a few kilometers, the landscape changes completely, revealing extraordinary treasures between the mountain peaks and the sea. These are the parks of Liguria, little gems of nature scattered along the mountains that face the Mediterranean. We will discover them together along the high road of the Ligurian Mountains, a spectacular excursion route that stretches over 400 kilometers inland, mainly along the watershed divide that outlines the region's coastal slope, passing through the heart of the great regional nature parks and connecting to other protected areas by way of specially constructed byways. I, the golden eagle, the queen of raptors, will be your guide on this unforgettable adventure through the natural beauties of Liguria.
Now I'm flying southwest to show you another enchanting protected area where we peregrine falcons like to nest. This stretch of coast is a UNESCO World Heritage Property, together with the Cinque Terre National Park. It's the Porto Venere National Park, which includes the promontory of the same name and the archipelago of the Palmaria, Tino and Tinetto Islands. The Muzzerone Cliffs are a wild, inaccessible landscape. A now rare butterfly lives here, typical to Mediterranean scrub, called the two-tailed pasha. The cliff is home to a large colony of common ravens, among the largest European perching birds, with a wingspan of 1.5 meters. They have black plumage and a sturdy beak, and are quite gregarious except during mating season, when the males engage in furious combat for possession of their mates. In early spring, when the Mediterranean scrub is in bloom, migrating birds arrive in the protected area. Here, a hoopoe forages for food after its long journey from Africa. The yellow-legged gull is the most common bird in the protected area. It nests in every cranny in the rock wall that faces the sea. Its cry is the theme song among these islands. Particularly common on the island of Palmaria is another large and colourful bird originally from Asia, the common pheasant. Here is my nest, hidden high up on the lonely cliffs plunging towards the sea. 2 chicks were born this year and continually ask to be fed. Come, I'll show you my spectacular hunting ground. The marvellous church of St. Peter, a typical example of Ligurian Gothic style, rises on the point of the Arpea promontory. Higher up is the imposing Doria Castle overlooking the village. But the most interesting natural area are definitely the islands. Palmaria, with 174 hectares, is the largest. The eastern slope, covered with Mediterranean vegetation, descends gently toward the sea, while the slope to the southwest reveals wild high cliffs, the nesting place for many rare bird species. The island of Tino is a military zone and can only be visited on St. Venerius Day. In the area to the northeast, ruins can be seen of monastic settlements dating from the 11th century. According to tradition, the island is the burial site of St. Venerius, whose day is celebrated on the 13th of September. He is the protector of the Gulf of La Spezia and of lighthouse keepers all over the world. On the little cliff of Tinetto are remains of a small oratory, a hermitage dating from the 5th to 6th centuries AD. At the summit of the island of Tino is a forest of holm oaks and Aleppo pines. The tall lighthouse is an important reference point for navigation on the upper Tyrrhenian. Because of its extraordinarily rich and varied wildlife, a small stretch of sea has been declared a marine protected area, joining other national and regional protected areas in the Ligurian Sea. Descending to the depths, we see a succession of spectacular scenery where red gorgonias, madrepores and yellow cluster anemones compete in showing off their brilliant colours. Grottos and ravines are the ideal hiding place for crayfish and lobster. Beneath the attentive gaze of the scorpionfish, a little nudibranch called the dotted sea slug slithers silently among rocks colonised by marine organisms. A young, dusky grouper looks on without curiosity. Undisturbed, a seahorse meanders through a field of seagrass. The marine area protects a tiny fragment of the sea measuring only 3 square kilometres, but a place of unforgettable encounters.